Hey, it's Coach Colin Castella, and welcome to another episode of the Ask Coach C series, where you ask the questions and I give you the answers. So this week we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about how to get a faster pull-up. We're going to talk about throwing regular or routine passes and how you can make sure that they work. And we're also going to talk about the palm rotation that a ton of you guys have had a ton of questions about. And that's just kind of the mechanic that helps a lot of middle finger shooters out. So here we go. All right, so the first question today comes from Overwrite Two Heads, and they want to know, how would I have a faster pull-up? All right, really great question. This is one that actually a lot of people need some help on, so it's really good of you to ask. And a quick pull-up is really important, because if you're trying to get that separation off of the dribble, a quick pull-up is going to get you an open look pretty much every time, no matter who's guarding you. So there's a few kind of tricks or tips that you can use to get a faster pull-up that will help you get that shot off. So number one, if you can pound your last dribble, right? If your last dribble that you're putting into the floor, if you can pound it, the faster it goes down, the faster it's gonna come up, and the faster it's gonna pop you into your shot. So number one, try to pound that last dribble, and kind of almost like a piston on a car is gonna ricochet back up into your hand as fast as it can, and it can start that upward momentum. So number one, try that out. Number two, try shooting off of a two-footed hop. A lot of people get really comfortable when shooting off of the pull-up of going that 1-2 step where they're planting their front foot down and then having their second foot follow behind, right? And it's just a little bit slower. A lot of times people dig their heels into the ground when they do that, and it takes all the momentum out. Then they got to regather the momentum through their knees and jump back up. So try shooting off of a two-footed hop and see if that helps. And when you're shooting off the two-footed hop, make sure that you're staying on the balls of your feet, right? The heel should never touch the ground, especially on a pull-up. And the last thing that can help you out is work on, when you're training, work on pulling up in different situations, right? A lot of people just work on pulling up going left and work on pulling up going right. But as a basketball player, you're going to get pull-ups in all sorts of different situations. You're going to get the dribble pull-up where you're moving forward. You're going to get a pullback where you're pulling away from the defender. And you're going to go side forward, side left, side right. And then you're going to get lateral steps left, lateral steps right. So you want to work on as many of those different kind of areas as possible. That way you're going to be fast on all of them. The next question comes from Michael Gabriel, and basically he just wants to know, how can he pass the ball in a non-fancy way that doesn't get turned over? That way his teammates can catch it, because when he passes the ball in a fancy manner, a lot of times they don't see it coming and it can hit them in the face, etc., so forth. But when he tries to just pass the ball regularly, it results in a turnover where the defense can steal it from him. So how can he fix this? Now, this was kind of an interesting question, and it's kind of weird because it's the opposite of what most people kind of have the problems with. And so that's kind of why I wanted to answer it. So I'm guessing if you're having kind of the easier or the routine passes being thrown away, I'm guessing that you're telegraphing your passes, meaning you're staring down, you're going to pass over here, you're staring them down, and then you throw the pass so the defense knows exactly when it's coming, where it's coming, and how it's coming, right? So number one, I'd say you could work on throwing off look-off passes. If you can even just shift your eyes just slightly, so instead of staring at your target, if you look off to one side or look off to the other as you pass to that target, a lot of times that's just enough to keep the defense on their heels and they're not ready to jump to the pass. So work on a no-look or look-offs. Now you're talking about your teammates, it might hit them in the face. Honestly, if they can't catch a pass that's coming to them on a look-off or something like that, that's kind of on them. That's not on you. If you have a great pass that's on time and on target and hits them in the chest or in the head, that's on them. I definitely wouldn't say it's on you. So the other thing you can do is you can also add ball fakes, right? If I'm getting ready to pass over here to this side, if I ball fake the opposite direction first, then I can zing it the direction I want to throw it, because it's going to throw the defender off. They're not going to be able to jump the passing lanes. Using ball fakes are one of the most underrated passing kind of tricks that people can use to get really, really easy passes to their teammates on time and on target, like I mentioned before. And like I said, if you do a ball fake and then you throw it to your teammate and it hits them in the head, it's on them, not really your fault. If you put it in the right spot, that's all you can do. All right, so the next question comes from, my name is Jeff, 21, and they want to know, hey coach, I was wondering about the palm rotation for middle finger shooters. I see middle finger shooters like Harden and Curry do it, but I don't know how. Can you explain the palm rotation? Thanks. All right, now I get a lot of questions about this, so it was good that you asked it. And the palm rotation is just kind of this idea that as a middle finger shooter, you don't have to get your hand directly behind the ball at the start of your shot, right? As you're bringing it down here kind of by your waist. And the reason why is because if you're a middle finger shooter and your middle finger's in the middle of the ball, a lot of the times it creates a lot of weird tension in your wrist and it causes your elbow to flare. So if your elbow's flaring and you come up, a lot of times the tendency is to keep your elbow flared and then you follow through off to the side. So the idea with the palm rotation is that you're starting with your hand on the side of the ball. I'm going to scoot back so you guys can kind of see this a little bit. So you're starting with your hand on the side of the ball over here with my shooting hand. And as I'm bringing it up, as I'm coming towards my forehead, I'm rotating that palm around towards the basket. So by the time it gets by my forehead, my palm should be back around. Now what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to keep my elbow in early. And then as I come up, now I'm finishing forward with my palm down towards the ground. So it's a really easy way as a middle finger shooter that you can use to go up smoothly, rotate the palm around, and then follow through finishing down. You know, it's just basically simple biomechanics. If your middle finger's in the middle of the ball, it's hard to get your elbow in. So this is a way to alleviate that to make sure that everything finishes straight in a line. So hopefully that kind of answers the question as far as the palm rotation is concerned. All right, again, I'm Coach Colin Castell with Shot Mechanics. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Ask Coach C series. And if you've got a question that you want answered, leave it in the comment section down below, and I very well may just get to it the next episode. All right, thanks for watching. Splash on.